Hey guys, my name is Claire Anderson Gilead. I'm your class assigned writing mentor for this session, and I'm really excited to get to know you more. This is a resource designed specifically for you so that you can figure out what local organization you want to pick for this assignment. All right. So the first thing we're going to start with is envisioning the end goal of your profile project. So here I have listed a couple of the requirements for this project that will guide you in knowing what local organization will fit the needs of this assignment. So a good local organization is somewhere you do not work at and that you do not own and that none of your friends or family own either. It's accessible, meaning you can do primary research there. It has a website or a strong online presence. It has a significant or surprising impact on the local community, or it does something meaningful that you can't find out through their website or through Google. So what is primary research? You'll have a whole module about this, but I just wanted to give a couple of examples to get you started because you'll be picking your local organization before you have this module. So primary research can be interviews. You can interview the owner of the business, its patrons. If it's not a business but an organization like a nonprofit, you can interview the founder of it, workers, and if your profile is centering around special events that your organization does, then it would be really pertinent to your profile to include quotations from interviews of people who have attended those specific events. Okay, so another form of primary research that you could include is observational data. And that is basically anything that you see, smell, hear, taste, feel in that business. Then there are surveys. You can conduct a survey if you want. It's a lot of work, but you could survey the patrons of the local organization that you choose as a form of primary research. And so I have an example here of when a survey would be appropriate and how you can include it. So the example I use is the Taco Thrift Shop, which is a local thrift shop in one of the cities of one of the students that I worked with. And there I recommended they could survey 30 patrons to see how many have had help from Taco with interview clothing and practices. And then how many got jobs after, because that tied right into their thesis. So that would be a little bit trickier to incorporate, but you could as a form of primary research. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about is how to search for your local organization. Some of you may be super familiar with like Google, and in which case, like, great, do that. But for those of you who want some other ideas, I have some right here. Okay, so you can try Google. Obviously, you can do Bing. A great website to visit is greatnonprofits.org. Another search engine you could use that sometimes I've used in the past is iask.ia or AI. And then that last bullet point is a really great website that I would recommend you use if you want to find small businesses in your area in particular. So then I have just a couple of screenshots showing all of these search suggestions and what they might look like. So this is Google, and I type in local organizations near me when I'm searching and find a ton of hits. Same with Bing, local businesses, and then the specific city and state that you live in. This is the greatnonprofits.org website. Obviously a really great resource for finding nonprofit organizations in your local community. This is iask.ai, also a very accessible website to use, or search engine. And then this last website is a great place that you can go as well. Okay, so a recommendation that I have is that you choose an organization that interests you because you'll be working on this project throughout the entire session. So it should be something that is interesting enough that it will motivate you to want to keep writing the profile. Some common topics in the past or local businesses or organizations that other students have chosen are things like animal shelters, hobby-related businesses like chess clubs or rock climbing businesses, shelters for women and children, and nonprofits that sponsor programs for teens. Some people have done food-centered businesses, and I will just say it is very difficult to find an angle to write about these businesses for a profile. So my personal recommendation would be to maybe steer clear of that unless this food-centered business also does something else amazing for the local community that isn't initially obvious, in which case it would be perfect for this. Okay, and then just a reminder on a couple of things that the organization must be. I won't read the fine print on each of these cards, but if you want to, feel free to pause this video so that you can go and read a little bit more about why they're important. It should be accessible. You need to have willing interviewees if you're conducting interviews. It, again, cannot be a place that you work at or own so that you can remain objective. It needs to answer one of the goals of the profile, and I'd very highly recommend you read over these goals because your profile needs to answer one of these. And then whichever organization you choose should have a strong online presence and its own website. All right. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. I answer within 24 hours always to my students. And then my availability is anytime after 3:30 p.m. Arizona time. Thank you so much for watching this, and please feel free to reach out to me if you have further questions. Thank you. Bye.